When I first started coaching, I had $14,000 months, followed by $1,500 month, and even a few $300 months. My first coach told me that the feast or famine cycle was inevitable in coaching, but she was wrong. It's not inevitable because I discovered the four things I could do that ended the feast or famine cycle for me forever. Hey, coach, I'm Ronnie Noize. And if you've experienced that awful feast or famine cycle, where you're either riding high with lots of clients and cash 1 month and then scrambling and desperate the next 2 or 3 or more months, this video is for you. Because today I'm sharing the details of the four strategies that ended this cycle for me and for many of my clients. And yeah, I'm also going to explain exactly why the feast or famine thing happens and what to do now so that your next 12 months can be your most profitable, all feast, even and especially if you're just starting out. First, let's talk about why the feast or famine cycle happens, because if you don't understand the root causes of the cycle, you can't end it. Feast or famine happens because of five main things: lack of systems, inconsistent marketing and sales, over focusing on one big client or contract, failing to plan what your clients will do after that first package or session working with you, and unexpected market changes. And the result? Inconsistent income, sleepless nights, overspending during the good months because you think it'll last forever, and then frantically overworking during the slow months to the point of burnout. Here's the thing: feast or famine isn't just exhausting, it makes you desperate. In the desperation, your potential clients, your prospects, and everybody in your community can smell it. It leaks into your messaging, your presence, even your pricing. That nasty desperation energy actually pushes people away. Sound familiar? I hope not. But if it does, or if you want to stop the cycle before it happens, we can fix this. Strategy number one: annual planning. And I mean actual planning, not just vague goals, not even SMART goals. Here's what I do and what I teach my clients to do. I use a visual planning method, and I start with a free one-page annual calendar. I got mine from calendarlabs.com. It's free. And I plan my entire year at once. This helps me see the big picture. First, I schedule my work periods and time off, because here's a secret: you need time off to rest, to recuperate, recharge, and a bubble bath or two once a month ain't gonna cut it. So schedule your vacation days first. And when I say work periods, I mean two things: coaching days, because I schedule my coaching days, maybe three per week and 5 to 6 hour blocks. And this also includes events such as group coaching, masterminding, and lead generation events, etc. Now, before you freak out, I left plenty of cushion in my schedule because I knew things were going to pop up, speaking opportunities and so on. So I just focused on the broad strokes of my primary income generating activities, making sure that I scheduled enough time for those. Now, I also adjusted for known famine periods: July, August, December. These months are historically slower for most coaches, and I found it true in my case. But instead of panicking, I planned for them. I scheduled lighter programs, fewer coaching hours. I did more prep work and took actual vacations, usually 1 or 2 weeks in July, almost always 2 weeks in August. Summer, baby. Pro tip: when I scheduled monthly events, both one time and recurring, I learned to put them in the last 2 weeks of the month because attendance was consistently higher than when I scheduled them in the first week. Why? Well, because apparently people plan monthly, not 6 weeks ahead. They make decisions at the beginning of the month for that month. So scheduling your training, your webinar, your group call in the last half of the month means it's already on their radar. But the first week of the month, it's like it comes out of nowhere for a lot of people, and they get kind of mad that they missed a monthly program. Now, this doesn't apply to a program with a connected series of meetings that straddles a month or two or even 12. But again, I learned not to start those the first week of any month for that very same reason. This one shift of planning my big picture schedule for the year changed everything because I could see gaps before they became problems. I could smooth out my revenue instead of riding that roller coaster. And I could be sure that I always had plenty of time to promote new programs. And I made sure not to have these programs overlap too much so that my clients didn't have to make a choice of this program or that program or private coaching. Because the truth is that our clients have limited resources of time and money just like we do. So, the better we can make our programs align with their schedules and budgets, the easier we make it for them to participate and get our help. What's really great about this part of the system is that I could share my quarterly schedule with my clients, the public part of it at least. And I did this in my client newsletter, client mailings, and so on. So they knew what was coming and could plan their schedules and budgets accordingly. Just having this schedule available reduced the time and effort it took to fill my programs. And one other advantage is that advanced scheduling gave new clients and prospects regular and easy entry points into my world. Now let's talk about strategy number 2, systematizing your marketing so it runs consistently, even when you're busy with clients. This is where most coaches fail. They market like crazy when they're desperate, then stop completely when they're busy. But marketing is not a single event. It's the pipeline for funneling new clients into your business. And if you turn off the faucet, the pipeline runs dry. You know that old saying, dig the well before you're thirsty? That's the concept here. So I systematized low-cost, high-impact, measurable marketing activities. And here's what that looked like for me. I generated leads through speaking engagements. I hosted my own classes and workshops, which generated both income and leads. I networked strategically and built power partner relationships for co-marketing and referrals. I sent monthly free public newsletters with valuable content and promoted them on social media when speaking and even in some print ads by offering a freebie. Okay, I know it sounds a little overwhelming, but actually, since I batched both the planning and the tasks, it took a lot less time than you'd think. So here's what this looked like for me. This is my marketing map, my marketing mass action plan. It's literally just a quarterly list showing what I'm doing when. My client weekly updates, my public newsletters, webinars, classes, and the networking trainings I did, even my social media focus and themes, all mapped out. So how it worked was I would schedule time every month for each category, say newsletters or social media. And I would put together all the newsletters for the month, or actually usually the quarter, all at once, because I knew what was coming and what I needed my audience to know. So I would batch this work instead of starting from scratch every week. Same thing with social. I batch created my posts because I knew what I wanted to cover. I knew what my content would be and then scheduled them by the month. So much easier than wondering what to post and what to do every day. And this frees up massive amounts of time. See, it's not complicated, it's just consistent. And because I planned it annually, I wasn't making it up week by week. I knew exactly what I was doing, when I was doing it, and what resources I needed to make it happen. Systematized marketing means you're always visible, always connecting with your clients and your audience, always making offers for the next steps, even when you're busy. That's how you avoid the famine. You don't let yourself get too hungry or thirsty in the first place. Strategy number 3. This should be obvious about now from the marketing piece, but it needs to be said because it is so important. Stay in touch with your audience. And I mean all parts of your audience. Current clients, former clients, prospects, power partners, peers, colleagues, and the community at large. Because you know as well as I do, there's a lot of truth to the saying, out of sight, out of mind. If your clients only hear from you during your sessions, they'll finish working with you and disappear. You need to stay present and visible. But there are lots of things you can do, calls, emails, texts, and so on. And I did all of those things. But what was easiest, fastest, and most effective was my weekly client email newsletter. I called it the weekly update. Not salesy, valuable. Tips, resources, wins I was seeing in my community, calendar. This kept me top of mind and positioned me as the go-to resource for my clients who were actually paying me right now, while reminding them of the value they were getting, as well as letting them know what's coming up next. Most months, I also did promotions, so they always had something new and exciting available. Annual client appreciation specials, holiday activities, new programs, special offers. The goal was to keep our relationship alive and give them reasons to stay engaged or to re-engage. But I didn't teach them to wait for price reductions by always putting something on sale. Some of my promotions were new tools or worksheets they could download for free. Some were tickets to my public events. And weirdly, many of my clients love to attend my lead generation webinars and classes just for a quick blast of motivation or to brush up on their skills. For former clients and prospects, I sent a monthly newsletter. Again, valuable content, not just sales pitches. I wanted them to remember me when they were ready to work with a coach and give them reasons to work with me, like new programs, and make it super easy for them to refer someone else to me. Now, in case you're thinking that nobody reads emails, the numbers tell a different story. Email is the most consistent way to get your message and your offers to your audience. And just seeing your name in their inbox reminds them that you exist, which is often enough. You can't count on social media to stay connected because not all of your clients are on your platforms and not all of your clients are obsessively watching your every move on social. Email allows you to control the frequency and deliverability of your message, so you know your clients hear from you. This is relationship marketing, and it's the difference between being a coach people worked with once versus being a coach people return to and refer to again and again and again. And strategy number 4 to stave off the dreaded feast-or-famine cycle: diversify your services. This is a strategy that really smooths out your income. Now, most new coaches have one offer: one-on-one coaching packages. If they're enterprising, and maybe they have a group program. But what happens when someone finishes the package? They leave. There's no next step, no progression, no reason to stay in your world and keep working with you. That's why I built a service ecosystem. After private coaching packages, both long-term packages and short-term, like strategy sessions, my clients could join a group program or my membership, which gave them great benefits, including deals on individual on-demand coaching sessions. The membership had levels, so people could stay with me even during their low activity period. But I also created entry points for people who weren't ready for big investments. Low-cost classes and workshops, monthly networking trainings that I ran for years, literally training thousands of people, and I got paid for it. Usually I did these in concert with my power partners, which gave me access to their audiences too. Now, shall we get more specific? Here's what my service ecosystem or revenue streams looked like while I was coaching. Individual sessions, large and small coaching packages, quarterly group coaching and accountability programs, an ongoing membership program, ongoing mastermind groups, monthly networking trainings, monthly marketing classes, both in person and virtual, annual on-site events like my Inspiration Weekend that I ran for 11 years, an annual New Year planning session, plus speaking engagements, both paid and free, and books, tools, workbooks in both digital and print format. In some years, I also offered quarterly one-day trainings, curriculum-based courses with multiple sessions, and even merchandise like t-shirts and totes. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's overwhelming, and that's too much work. And you're half right. It is work. But here's the thing. I built this over time, and I built it strategically using that annual planning and marketing system I just showed you. So things grew over time organically. I didn't do it all from day one. And you know what? It was fun creating programs that my clients love. It was profitable growing my reputation with relationship marketing. And yeah, it was a lot of work, but I would much rather work for myself, getting paid for doing what I love, than enrich some corporate overlords doing thankless work that sucks up every ounce of my creativity and energy. But maybe that's just me. Now, I'm not saying that to scare or shame you. I'm saying it because this is the reality. Sustainable coaching businesses require systems. They require consistency. They require showing up even when you don't feel like it. But if you're like me at all, it is totally worth it. Getting paid to make people's lives better and to do it on my own schedule, sign me up. Now let's talk about you and how you're going to end the feast-or-famine cycle forever. My suggestion is that you choose one of these 4 strategies and implement it this week. Just one. For example, what if you download a free calendar and block out your next quarter, or go wild and block out the whole new year, including scheduling those 4 to 6 weeks of vacation? Or maybe it makes the most sense for you to create a simple marketing map with just your weekly and monthly activities so you can batch your tasks, making marketing faster and easier. And perhaps you're ready to set up a monthly newsletter. Maybe it goes to both your clients and your wider audience at first. Or if all of those are already in place, maybe it's time to brainstorm one additional service you could offer that gives your clients a next step, another way of working with you going forward. This could be something ongoing like a membership. Why not? Before we wrap up, just let me mention one more thing. Unexpected market changes and rolling with them. When COVID hit and closed down a bunch of businesses, I wasn't worried. I had actually just sold my house and was in the process of moving to a new city in a new state when it happened, but it barely affected my business at all because I was ready. The year before COVID, when I was planning to move and knew I would possibly be living in a couple of different cities before I found my new home, I made my annual plan to reflect that change to take my business 100% virtual. And yeah, I lost a couple of panicked clients when COVID hit, but my business stayed strong and kept going right up until the day I retired, right on schedule. So while unexpected changes in the market may affect your business, putting these 4 strategies in place will definitely lessen any negative impact. So, coach, hear me when I tell you that the feast or famine cycle is not inevitable. It's not something you just have to live with. And please don't let it drive you out of business. It's just a symptom of running your business reactively instead of strategically. And you're capable of more than that. I built this system as a solo coach without a team, without a big budget, without fancy software. If I can do it, you can do it. It just takes commitment and consistency. And here's my final point. I made this video because I genuinely want you to succeed. I'm not accepting coaching clients. I've got nothing to sell you. I just want you to still be coaching 5 years from now because the world needs good coaches. So if you need help with any of this, turn to your accountability partners, your power partner panel, your coach, because you do have a coach, right? You can do this, and it's smarter and easier and faster to do it with support. Okay, coach, if you want smart ideas for building a sustainable coaching business, not the highlight reels, not the hype, just what actually works, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And share this channel with another coach who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments which strategy you're implementing first. Thanks for watching. I'm Ronnie Noize, reminding you that today is a great day to be a coach.